Welcome to my review for the Beyblade X Xtreme Battle Set from Hasbro. Of course, I would normally do an unboxing, but I unboxed it off camera already, so let me just fix this. Okay. So, yeah, anyways, let's just take a look at the box fairly quickly here. Get the camera a bit. As you can see, you have the Beyblade X logo here, the name of the set, the names of the Beyblades, the Hasbro logo, the Karatomi logo there, a product image of the two Beyblades fighting each other in the stadium, along with what you get inside, a little blurb for the accelerator rail, and two enthusiastic Beybladers battling each other in the stadium. On this side, you have some things here. This side, you have the scoring system. Top of the box, you get the Beyblade X logo again, along with product images of the two Beyblades again. Bottom, get the barcode and some legal guff. And the back, showing you what the set includes. A little map of the stadium. Exploded views of the two Beyblades, along with their stats. And again, that is about it. And this box is a little damaged. It's the way it came, though, unfortunately. I actually got this as a Secret Santa gift at the place I work at, so if you're wondering how I got it, then you know. So, of course, in the box, you get the Xtreme Stadium itself, your two Beyblades, an instruction manual, and two black entry launchers with ripcords. Okay, so let's go over part by part for each Beyblade, starting with the Hasbro exclusive Tusk Mammoth, or Mammoth Tusk, as it's most likely going to be known in Japan. So here's the blade itself. Looks pretty nice. Of course, by the way this blade is designed, it would remind some people a lot of Hell's Scythe, or Scythe Incendious. But of course, this is completely different. It has two mammoth heads running along the outside. And also the way this blade is designed, it kind of reminds me of some of those attack rings from the plastic generation. By the way it's designed, you know. Here's the side. Okay. And here's the bottom with the QR code. For those who have the Beyblade X app from Hasbro, feel free to scan it if you'd like. Yeah, of course. It's fairly even, other than this little bar right here, which could affect the balance and endurance of this blade while spinning. In a way, it's similar to the Death Scyther or Doom Sizer series from Beyblade Burst, but for X, obviously. So there's the blade. Ratchet 360. Really good ratchet overall. up until the release of some ratchets like the 9 series, this is one of the better ratchets to use because of how rounded it is, which could reduce the chances of the equipped Beyblade from bursting. And of course, this has a completely different burst mechanism compared to the previous generation of Beyblade, which of course is Beyblade X. I mean, Beyblade Burst, excuse me. Not Beyblade X. What the heck am I saying? Anyway. And finally, the bit, which for this case is taper. It's basically a wide semi-flat, which gives some pretty interesting movement. And by the way, this bit here was first introduced on Hell's Scythe, or Incendious Scythe, or whatever you call it, where 360 was first introduced on Drawn Sword, or Sword Drawn. Yeah. Pretty decent bit. The assembly for these Beyblades are easy. Just line this white thing here with this little section here. Once it's in, you twist until it clicks into place. For right spins, you turn to the left, but for left spins, you turn to the right to lock it into place. Then you take your bit and you shove it in this side into this hole here until it snaps into place. And there you have it. Tusk Mammoth, or Mammoth Tusk 360 Taper. Nice. And before I move on to the next Beyblade, I want to do some size comparisons quickly. Starting with a 0G Beyblade, Samurai Ifrit, or Samurai Ifrit. And from what I can tell, when comparing the 0Gs to the X series, these blades are roughly the same size, which is kind of nice. Where obviously for Beyblade Burst, for an example being the dual layers are a smidge bigger than X. Yeah, this is Victory Valkyrie, or Victory Valtryek V2. And if you compare it to the most recent Burst releases, as in Burst Ultimate or Quad Strike, you obviously see that there is an obvious size difference between X and Beyblade Burst Quad Strike. I noticed with Beyblade Burst, the more new Beyblades we get each season, the bigger they get. And of course, being made of different materials and all, depending on which Beyblades you're battling with, I think that some X Beyblades can, in some cases, break Burst Beyblades. So keep that in mind. Of course, also the burst mechanism is completely different. Like on the Takara releases, you'd have teeth that would click against the driver when turning it, sandwiching the disc between, the layer and driver. But of course, with teeth, it would wear down very quickly, but with slopes, not so much. But of course, with X, the way the burst mechanism works is if the bit comes loose, it'll pop off the ratchet and the blade, and, or depending on how the ratchet is hit, it'll unlock and separate itself from the blade. If I can unlock it. It's kind of tight. Oh wait, I have to... You have to unlock. Yeah. But you know what I mean. So there you have it. Mammoth Tusk. And now for the main attraction. Dagger Drawn or Drawn Dagger. 460 Rush. Starting with the blade, which has a 6 contact design. There's the code, by the way. And it's a successor to Drawn Sword. The way this blade works is that it's supposed to deliver a barrage of attacks against the opponent. Because of the way it's designed, there is a higher chance of Drawn Dagger getting, smacked around or losing stamina to recoil. But it's still a powerful blade in its own right. In Japan, this Beyblade was exclusively seen in the Drawn Dagger deck set. Same thing for Hell's Chain or Chain Incendious. But for Hasbro, they made it, this particular blade, exclusive to the Xtreme Battle set. So, compared to Takara Tomi's way of getting this Beyblade, I think this is easier to get in this set than Takara Tomi's, deck set. But, yeah. View the back again and the code. Ratchet 460. It's okay, but compared to 360, this is much easier to burst. Because the contact points are poking out a lot more. They're not as rounded. So, yeah. So if you were to use this Beyblade competitively, I would suggest changing the ratchet to either 360 or even 960 or something, just to make it less likely to burst. But yeah, there's 460. And the bit. Rush. Which is a smaller flat tip compared to the original flat. But it's obviously a lot slower than both the different versions of flat and XL. And it has 10 gears on it compared to 12 on a standard ratchet, like Taper, for instance, which has 12 gears on it. Despite the slowness of this bit, I'm gonna say driver, it's still seen some competitive use. It's pretty good. Now to assemble this blade. And there you have it. Drawn Dagger or Dagger Drawn 460 Rush. Alright, now to go over the stadium. If you have the Takara Tomy X stadium, you'll notice that it's a different size compared to it. I don't have the Takara Tomy stadium to compare myself, but from what I've seen online, Hasbro is is a little narrower compared to Takara Tomy, but it still functions more or less the same, except for some minor cosmetic changes here and there. Just going to push the camera back a bit. And unlike the Burst Stadiums, there is no QR code for this for you to scan, unfortunately. And no code on the launchers either. But, yeah. This stadium is much better than Hasbro's Bucket Stadium for Beyblade X, which is okay, except for the fact that because the accelerator rails or the Xtreme line is made of the same plastic as the Bucket Stadium, the gears on that particular version of the stadium are rather fragile, so yeah. This is a better bang for your buck, because the rails are made of a different plastic and it's far more durable. And you're not missing out on that much, honestly. But now let's do some test spins and test battles. Starting off with Mammoth Tusk, or Tusk Mammoth. Triangle launch it, as you can see. And there is an Xtreme dash. Nice. Now let's try straight shooting it. Pretty fast. Okay. Drawn dagger now. Starting with a rush shoot, followed by a straight shoot. I forgot to mention the fact that compared to a regular fit, Rush is designed to catch the accelerator rail or Xtreme line a little easier to perform multiple Xtreme dashes while it still has the stamina and everything, which is kind of neat. So now here comes a straight shoot. Sweet. And also, I forgot to mention that the gear chips, while attached to the bit, would rotate a bit, especially when either clanging against each other or riding the accelerator rails. But yeah, it's fairly easy to fix if you want to, make it in the correct orientation. And they could rotate a full 360 degrees, both left and right. Alright, so now, for a bonus, let's do a full battle between the two Beyblades in the set. I'll launch Mammoth first because it's easier to control and has more stamina. First to 4 points shall win the entire thing. So, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Already! Drawn Dagger takes the first win with an Xtreme finish. Cool. The launchers here are pretty good. Obviously, they're a lot smaller and not as powerful as a string launcher, a bigger, like the regular light launcher, or even the hold launchers. you can get in Japan, but for what they are, they're okay. So 0 to 3 right now. Round 2. Big hits, big hits. Okay, that was quick. So, a score of 4 to 0, drawn dagger, or dagger drawn wins. Dagger drawn's the winner. Give me a second to readjust. And there you have it, guys. That's my little review for the Hasbro's Beyblade X Xtreme Battle Set. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And as a bonus, if you guys saw my latest community post, I did a shout out to a guy named Black Saiyan. Feel free to click on the link in that community post to check out his channel and possibly subscribe to him. But yeah, that's it. Until we meet again, this is Cody the Dragon Samurai, signing off. Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, wrong button.